Train up a child in the way that he or she shall go. And when they go, they will not forget. Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what is going on be. It's your man's Harry. Billion. Guys, please do me a favor and smash the subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up. Coach Prime tells a player, get out. So let's talk about that. You know what time it is. Let's work.
There you go. Hey, the body first. Put it down. Get out. Waist up. Hey, y'all let that go.
Okay, so what's happening in this clip? For this clip, I want to talk to youth leaders, youth pastors. I want to talk to coaches. If you coach young people, you're shaping the mind of young people. If you coach anyone, I want to talk to you about what's happening in this clip. We can just look at this clip and say like, oh, it's one of those things, one of those disciplinary things that Coach Prime is doing. But there's more that's happening in this clip that I want to talk to you about. When I was at UNC Greensboro, I was part of a ministry called New Generation Campus Ministries. We went to a conference called I-Lead, I-L-E-A-D, I-Lead conference. This conference is pretty much set up to train leaders within the church. I've been in church all my life. When I was in Liberia, my grandmother took us to church. When I came here, my mom continued the same thing. My dad took us to church. So I've been in the church all my life. So I know how to do the dance, the church dance, if you understand what I'm saying. I know church-etics, which is church politics. I know church-etics very well. I've been doing it all my life. So we went to this conference, Christian Leadership Conference, training the young minds. It was a beautiful conference. When I was in school, I was young and I was buff and I had a little bit of swag. I'm a dad now, so I got the dad bod, okay? Relax. Relax, okay? Just follow the story. So I had a nice physique. I don't know if it was uniforms or we were just dressed in like our dress shirts and whatnot to go to one meeting. I got to the meeting and I was wearing a button up. So I buttoned up to like maybe the way the guys wear it to show a little bit of the pecs, the pectoral muscles, to let you know that I got a little sunset going on over here, okay? When I got there, the environment was a little different. One of the teachers met me at the door and she said, Harry, stop. She said, Harry, button up your shirt. I said, huh? Excuse me? She said, button up your shirt. So I was like, oh, okay. So I buttoned up my shirt. The level of accountability and the level of excellence that they were operating at was much higher than my local church. This is not an indictment to my local church, but the level of excellence and accountability that they were operating on was obviously different. And I was in for a rude awakening because this was a no nonsense, we ain't playing around here type of conference. These people were ready for any challenges, any mess that we would bring it in to this conference. And they greeted us, all of that mess at the door. This is not what we're doing here, and you will not do this here. Accountability. The level of excellence that I was watching, that I was witnessing at that conference was next level. I have not seen it anywhere else. It was a culture shock for me. Like a kid leaving the hood or an HBCU and going to a Colorado and finding out, wait a minute, y'all got a pool? Y'all got these type of things here? Like, what does this thing do? That pool, relaxes your muscles and helps you to recover. That's a preventative pool. What in the world? A preventative pool? Yeah. Culture shock. From that point on, I was locked in and I realized that these people mean business. And every person there was locked in to the same vision and the same level of excellence. And they were ready to make sure that they cover me also, that they held me accountable for that. And I can hold them accountable. If I saw one of the other members slipping, I can hold them accountable. We held each other accountable for the level of excellence they were trying to uphold at that conference and at that retreat. It changed me from there on. My mind was on a whole nother level and I was witnessing excellence. I was like, this is another level of Christian excellency that I had never seen in my life. When you are a youth, when you go to the church, we all know that some youth programs are mainly pacifying programs. Let's play all the secular music that we can play just to kind of, make sure that they feel comfortable here. We throw a little bit of Christ on there. We throw a little bit of Bible and church on there, and then we'll send them home. That's what a lot of the youth programs are in the inner city and other places around the Christendom. What we're seeing here.
There you go. Hey, the body first. Put it down. Get out. Waist up. Hey, y'all let that go.
It's that same level of excellence and that same level of accountability that Coach Prime is trying to establish. I'm sure that young man understood the rules. He knew. If you look in the video, everybody in that room was wearing black socks. Maybe he was running late, or maybe he just forgot that the rule is black socks, or something else was happening in his mind. Maybe for some reason he thought, maybe it's okay. Not a big deal. It's just socks. Socks is socks, right? Socks is socks. It's not a big deal. This is just socks. But is socks really socks? So he throws on his white socks and he's gonna go work out. Coach Prime walks in the building, checks everybody's foot. You, put it down, get out. Let me tell you the reason why you're getting out. White socks. Harry B, button up your shirt. There are ladies around here. You fine, boy. I don't need you enticing the ladies in this room. I don't need you to be enticing the ladies that are around you. You're young, you're muscular, you're handsome. That pressure, we don't need that around here. I was the milk chocolate. In school, I was the little milk dud, the little, brown chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that deep dark chocolate with muscles. This young man knew, for some reason, he thought that maybe the rules are, maybe it's okay to just break the rules because what's the big deal? I'm not hurting nobody. I mean, what's the big deal, right? What's the big deal? The big deal on this is, if we let that slip, what are you going to do on the field when you could have made that extra block, but you thinking there's no big deal? What does it mean to you to help your guy out? What does accountability mean to you? On our path to victory, if you are a youth director, if you are a youth leader, if you are a coach, coaching sports, how many things are you willing to let go? The mindset. Winning starts way before we get on that field. The winning mentality starts way back before we come to this field of play. It's okay. What's the big deal? So what is the big deal? Tell me what the big deal is. The big deal is accountability is important. The play's over. What's the big deal? Oh, he got that block. What's the big deal? I don't have to do anything. He's already got it. The player that continues to play on the other team does something, wiggles his way out of that trap, and goes down and scores. Because it wasn't a big deal for you. And it starts with the socks. Those little things become big things. When you're driving a car and you have a little bit of a crack on your windshield, if you don't take care of that crack will infiltrate the whole window. That crack becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now you're driving a car that has that big old crack all the way down. It's no big deal. How bad do you want it? What measures are you willing to take to get to where you're trying to get to? How bad do you want it? What corners are we going to be cutting? If the world sees that, because we're now in a cancel culture, right? Everybody's mixed in with everybody that may have some type of loser mentality. So a bunch of losers have platforms and other losers agree with them on a lot of things. So even the things that are beneficial for our good, for our community, when a loser on a big platform decides, I don't want to deal with that. I don't need that. Stop body shaming. Stop doing all of that. Somebody with a loser mentality that other losers agree with is on a big platform. When they put their voice to certain things, they may take this clip and convince their people and say, what's the big deal there? I mean, socks is socks. What does it have to do with football? This is what cancel culture does, because you can find a lot of people to agree with the way that you think. Why is he making such a big deal out of socks? You're going to have these groups. You're going to have some people that they have relaxed the level and quality of thinking because now they're comfortable in their loser mentality. If you're willing to just relax, you're disciplined. What else is going to seep in? Everybody has to lock in to the mentality. Everybody has to be locked in on a mental level. I'm surprised that none of his other teammates didn't hold him accountable. So you get to a certain point where everybody is so locked in that when anything is off balance, bro, you can't do that. That's how we create societies where everybody hold each other accountable. I guarantee you now that Coach Prime made him an advocate for the mentality. I'm almost thinking because he was embarrassed. He was told to leave. Put the weights down and get out. White socks. That revelation for him. That meeting of the minds. Shocker for him. That shocker for me. Oh, I need a button up? Okay. Now I'll become an advocate for the accountability that we need for this program. If I see somebody out of line with their shirt unbuttoned, you know what I say? Bruh, button your shirt. There's ladies around here. If we're on a basketball court, it's just all the men and we're playing basketball at the retreat. We have our shirts off, it's hot and we're playing. The second that a lady walks on that court and wants to play with us, yo, stop the game. What you mean? Stop the game. We got to put our shirts back on. Everybody's locked in. So yeah. No doubt. Yo, Harry B, good looking. Boom. We on it because we locked in. Everybody's locked in. He becomes an advocate now. Next time he sees anyone with a different color socks other than black, he's now an advocate. And he's now going to be holding people accountable. And we all become locked in. The fact that nobody corrected him, it had to be Coach Prime to do that. It lets me know a little bit that there's still a little bit of room for working. That everybody needs to understand that, hey, we got work to do. That's an insight for me.
Hey Coach, Jake Schwan, it's DMVR. Just with all the players you brought up from JSU and everywhere else, and then the players that have been here at SCU, how do you feel the team has really been able to gel and get to know each other?
I was getting ready to say something, and God said, don't do that. Thank you. I'm glad I can hear pretty good. They are getting to know one another, and they're building and establishing relationships, but more so than that, they're holding one another accountable, and they're building trust with each other. Right now, we're a team, and we're building team. I want more than that. I want it to be more than a team. I want to be something to behold. It's something you got to prepare for. Really sit down and prepare for. I don't want just a football team. Yeah, I look at this thing totally different than just being a team. But I think they're building relationships and establishing friendships and building trust. I do.
Coach Prime cannot be the only person holding everyone accountable. We all have to be locked in. We all have to hold each other accountable. I'm not saying they're not doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just using this as an example to make sure that everybody's locked in. We're all new here. We're all still learning each other. We're all still trying to figure each other out. Who's this guy? What makes him high? What makes him low? We're all still trying to work this thing out. We got some time to do that. There's going to come a point where everybody's locked in, and that would not be Coach Prime telling somebody to walk out because they have white socks on. It's going to be another player next to you. So what that tells me is we got work to do, which is totally fine because this thing is new. There's still people coming in. We're still trying to figure each other out. It's okay for now. The camaraderie, the brotherhood. If you watch the movie Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington, where you had some of the black kids and the white kids that weren't getting along, there was a lot of things going on, and it took them a long time to start to trust each other, where they can trust each other with their lives. When there were still racial tensions and teammates couldn't trust each other, there come a time in the movie where they've been through enough together. They've experienced a lot of things together. And now they can trust each other with their own lives. So that when something happened in this other community, now the white players and the black players say, oh no, not him. That's my brother. Like Chris from Alpine Garage Sports extending his hand and saying, hey, Harry B., you are my brother in YouTube. We are on the same team when it comes to buffs. Please use my content. Go ahead. We're on the same team. So there's going to come a time where everybody's locked in and we can now hold each other accountable. This locker room, they're gelling. You can see it. They're supporting each other. When you see the videos and they're pumping each other up, yeah. There's still some room for growth. And you can see that. It's obvious. It should not take Coach Prime to come in here and say, hey, get out, white socks. Nope. What somebody else should have done. Another player should have been, hey, yo, you know Coach Prime is coming, right? You're supposed to wear black socks. If nobody noticed it, why is it that Coach Prime is able to pick it out right away? It's a good sign. Coach Prime is on the job. He knows what it takes. It's the little nuances, the little things that we have to correct to hold each other accountable. The level of excellence goes up and it starts with the little things. So when you're coaching kids, young minds, girls, boys, it doesn't matter who you're coaching. When you're doing that, the level of excellence has to be set. And you cannot, under no circumstances, relax on those rules. You have to enforce the rules from the jump. If you do not enforce the rules, if you say no hat in my meeting and you come in there and somebody has a hat on and you don't say nothing, you're a little bit hesitant to tell the most popular person on the team because they're going to fry you, or the most popular person, the person that has the biggest mouth, that they come in and they're breaking one of your rules. If you do not tell them to get out and you're too afraid of the other parents, you are doing a disservice to the child and that program you're trying to establish. So youth leaders, pastors, coaches, you need to take this example. Start establishing some things and don't bend on your rules. Same thing in our households. Little areas in our lives that can help to elevate the level of excellence that we want to see. This is how we win, like Coach Prime. This is our path to victory. When we start winning, I'll point back to these things and say, well, yeah, it's because of this. He made that block because of that. That block is because of those socks. He tackled the guy and did not let him go because he understood that we don't stop until the whistle blows. It's because of the socks. You don't believe it's because of the socks, then you're naive. It's because of the socks. The discipline starts there. The level of accountability starts there. Coach is on the sidelines coaching. He's not on the field. That level of accountability has to be there. The players have to hold each other accountable when they're on the field. Coach cannot see everything. That's why they have those headphones. He's talking to people in their helmets. The players that are on the field can see. The fact that the White Sox were there, it lets me know that we're not ready yet. But the fact that Coach came and he plugged that out, it lets me know that we're getting there. We're still working on that. That level of accountability is coming. Another player is going to say, hey, get out, White Sox. Bruh, you got to go back. Coach doesn't have any captains. I was told that Coach doesn't work with captains because everybody needs to hold each other accountable. We're all captains. When I came from that conference, I walked differently on campus. I was a new person. So now my mind has changed. While these kids are at college, while they're on this team, they're going to have that accountability. They're going to have that level of excellence. And then they're going to leave their school and they're going to have to walk in this world and realize that not everybody is like that. They're going to have to navigate their lives. But I want you to see the importance of training up a child in the way that he or she shall go. And when they go, they will not forget, because I'm still living this life. I'm still living the life that was taught to me. Some of those things, have they been relaxed? Yes, they have been relaxed. Can nobody live up here forever? It's impossible to live up here forever. But some of the principles that they taught me when I was there at Ali and New Generation Campus Ministries, I'm still living those principles. So train up a child in the way that he or she shall go. And when they go, they will not forget. Don't let these kids down in your programs. Don't pacify these kids. They don't need it. I know you're trying your best, and I know that you have good intentions. You're in the church, you're playing secular music. You're playing Lil Uzi Vert, and you're doing the dances. When they come in, you're warming up the crowd. You think that you're doing a good thing. You're giving them what they're used to. You're not doing these kids any favor. You're doing them a major disservice. Don't pacify these kids. They will remember discipline. Years later, they're going to come back and say, it was because you were so hard on us that you saved my life. I remember how hard on us you were. Thank you for being so hard on us. Don't bring down your standards just to pacify the kids. If you are a coach, set high standards and live by them. And you got to live by them too. Coaches making some of the other coaches run as well. Let's live by examples. Don't lower your standards. Set the standards high. These kids are going to appreciate you for that. Stop being afraid of these kids. I've been at churches where the youth ministry doesn't look any different from everything else that's out there in the world. And the mentality is, the thinking is that, oh, we're just using this. It's an icebreaker. We got to meet them where they are. And then they start throwing out Bible verses like, I become all things to all men so I can win them. Yeah. Become a stripper. Strip down naked. Go ahead and tattoo thug life on your chest to show them to become that thing. No, don't relax your standards. If you are a coach, set standards. Make them run. In your athletics, teach them to help each other, to support each other. Let them cheer for each other. Let them give other kids energy. Stop teaching this separatist mentality. Stop uplifting other kids in front of the other kids. Stop telling the other kids, do like John. John is great. Stop putting the other kids down by propping up some other kids. Encourage the kids to support each other. Build confidence in the other kids. Be like, you know what? We can do this together. Build an environment where the kids can support each other as opposed to pitting them against each other. You see how great John is? Why you can't be great like John? Not every kid responds the same way. Set your principles. Encourage the kids. If you are a coach now, I'm talking to you coaches. Encourage the kids to encourage each other. That's what you see on these videos that Coach Prime is doing. The Coach Prime mindset. Our path to victory. This is what it looks like. If you're going to win like Coach, you're going to have to try some of these things and not be afraid. Be disciplined. Don't lower your standards. Run through the play. You do the work, because faith without works is dead. You just do your part. The chips will fall where they will fall. You will start winning in areas in your life that you would not even understand why you're winning in this area, because you're doing the work. It's lame. It seems lame. In this society, we put the label lame on it to relax the standard. So yes, it sounds lame. I'm sounding lame on purpose. I'm lame because I want to win. Yes, it sounds lame to the high schooler, to the middle schooler, to the TikTok crowd, to certain people. That sounds lame, but it's the lame things that you do, you practice over and over again, that helps you to stay alive. When your friends are on spring break, when your friends are all in the room and you're off school, and somebody brings a gun out, try being the person to tell them, bruh, we don't need that gun, man. Chill. Bruh, chill. In this society, everything's lame. You corny, you lame, or whatever words they're using today. But we're replacing all of the necessary things that we used to do. We're calling them lame. All of the little nuances that we used to do, we're now calling them lame. And then there are social groups that agree to this mindset. And we're relaxing all of the values and the things that Big Mama used to tell us. All of those things are lame now in today's environment, in today's culture. It's all lame now. The youth pastor's lame because he's like, tuck your shirt in. Everybody's lame. All of the values have been relaxed because it's all lame. That's not fun, but if we start replacing some of these values, we will see culture start to come up a little bit more. Kids wouldn't be so upset. There won't be so much depression. Kids will start having more value in life again. Kids will start seeing life as a valuable thing and not so easy to just take it away. You will see the morality start rising in society again if we try some of these things. Because of this sucks. These little things that we take for granted, that we put the lame label on nowadays. That is what's going on here in that short little clip. And I'm going to leave it there. You know what I do here. That perspective right there, guys, that was the Liberian perspective. I'm Harry B. TLP Sports Club.